How's it going, guys? Today is February 1st. It's a balmy 3 to 4 degrees Celsius outside. That sun is actually starting to pack some heat now. I'm starting to get spring fever here, guys. It's only February freaking 1st. So anyway, I'm told it's going to be short-lived. It's supposed to cool right back down here on the weekend. So what we're doing is we got to go and inspect our grain bags again. It's been a little while since I've checked them last. We're going to start with the best known grain bags. Like what I mean is they're known to be in the best condition. And then we are going to work our way down to the most deteriorated grain bags. I don't want to depress myself right off the go and see the worst bags. Let's get the good ones out of the way, patch up the odd hole, and then we'll work our way to the bad bags. That's the plan. So we got quite a drive. We got about, I think it's like 70 kilometers or so to get to our first set of bags. So I guess I'll see you when we get out there. I just wanted to show you guys something here. I just got to come to a stop, and that way I can unmount my phone. There we go. While we're driving, I just wanted to show you this. There's a rig out here. See that? That is not an oil rig. What they're drilling for is actually helium, believe it or not. Don't get me wrong, there is oil down in this country, but there's really no oil where we are. They came like, I don't know, 20 years ago, plunked a bunch of test holes for gas, natural gas, and I think it's down there. It's quite deep. We actually have natural gas in our well water. Our well water for what we use for spraying and stuff, it's about 750 feet deep. I think it's something like that. Don't quote me. It's somewhere in that area, and it's not uncommon to have gas come out of it, like it starts spitting gas at you when you're washing your hands at the tap, and you can actually light that. But anyways, once you get over, right in that Shaunavon area, there's tons of oil, but not where we are down here. There's just some gas, which there's really no active wells, and they are now starting to drill some active helium wells. So I think this is the second of 3 that it's going in our area. Just wanted to point that out. Apparently we're full of hot air up here. Now I was saying that, let's hit the road. Alright guys, we just turned on the gravel road now, so we're getting pretty dang close. We've lost a lot of snow out here, as you can see in the fields. That's your peripherals. It actually reached 7 degrees Celsius on the drive over here. 7 degrees. It's abnormally warm, but I love it. But I hate it all at the same time. I love it, but I hate it. Kind of a love-hate relationship. Why? Is because that makes bad roads for driving. Typically comes with the wind, and can make picking up grain bags a sloppy mess. So typically we got to make sure we have all these grain bags picked up prior to March. So we are running out of days. More snow out here though than there is at home. Oh, there's our approach. Shut her down, Mike. Shut her down. This is where I got stuck last time with bad tires. So I'm confident that with my new ones, we're going to be good to go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're good. It's rock hard, but we're good. Little bouncy, little bouncy. Okay, so let's do a drive around on mount this phone. So you can see right there, it did some taping last time. I don't need to retape that. It looks good. There is no holes in this bag. In fact, there's hardly any tracks other than some little rabbit tracks out there. It's a good sign. Where I got stuck last time. You know what, I'm gonna go to 4-wheel drive. Turn off the traction control. There we go. Traction control off, just in case. tape out. You can see where we've done some taping. It's got some red marks on them. Red tape. We're okay. Let's get out and check those. This is still good. Just a little one right there. See, it was antelope that actually was getting up on these bags. That's still an okay sign. Taped some more down here last time. Sorry about the shadow. Oh, it's got a little water in there. You know, I'm just gonna throw a quick couple dabs of tape on a few spots here and we should be good to go. So we have a roll of tape, a small knife, and I'm just gonna throw some tape on some of these spots. Just like this. See the hole right underneath right there? Just lay that down. Like that. Take your knife, slice it, and that's how you do it. And it's super warm out today, so this tape is sticking to the bag super good. That's what we're looking for. And I'm just gonna walk around this bag. So remember guys, these are actually the best bags. So these are good. This is what we call a really good bag. If you can't see chickpeas popping out of these things somewhere, great big open holes or tears in them, this is good. So now taping on this side would be very hard. Why? Look at this. Covered in snow. The north side of the bags are frosty with snowy. Not make taping very fun. Let's see what we have here. You guys probably can't see this too good just due to the reflection of the sun. I think we're still okay. I think we're okay. Frontiers, that's actually the variety, if you're wondering. Okay guys, we're good. I think we're good. We're gonna take our roll of tape and our knife, and we're gonna head to the next set of bags. And those bags are, oh shoot, probably another 65 kilometers away, give or take. So Mike, how often do you check these bags? Not nearly often enough probably. You probably should be checking them like once a week or once every 10 days or something like that. But it's challenging to do when there's kind of scattered all over the place, and sometimes you can't get down the back roads. You got to plow the back roads for snow and so on and so forth. But these bags are in awesome condition, and we're gonna go and find some more. So I'll see you guys when I get there. We're getting close, you guys. We're getting close. Not as much snow out here. Right there. I find that the sound effects increase the stopping power. Don't know how often I forget this road's here, but it's right underneath the hill, so I always forget about it. Look how dry it is out here, like no snow. Go seeding if it was warmer. There's those grain bags probably in your peripheral. Temperature is currently 7 degrees Celsius. And it's 4 p.m. Normally it'd be cooling down by this time. Hardly an ounce of snow. Quite a bit different from the last place we were at, eh? So we got 4 bags here. Oh, this is not looking good. There we go. We got 1 hole right there, I see. Let's drive down here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oof. 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 That's rough. Well, there's no wind. It's actually muddy out. No snow. It's beautiful, actually, to be quite honest with you. So we did have these rolled up. And then we had a big wind, as you know. Like a big wind. Blew a bunch of stuff over, so on and so forth. But this is new. That's new. That's a new hole. Chickpeas are still good. That's got to be a badger or a coyote. And this guy, like, seriously. Okay, there's ice here. Right here. So it's not, that's not all chickpeas. At least that makes me feel better. That's actually chickpeas. Probably about 6 inches of chickpeas on top of the snow. Whew. All came from that. Like, what the heck? Seriously, was it like a badger just sitting here like this all day, all night? Okay. So, we have been taping this bag. I knew this bag would be a lot worse. I didn't expect it to be quite that bad. That's not a good sign. There's poop up there. That's also not a good sign. It's mostly raccoons, you guys. Oh, not good. Holy crap. Oh, I'm gonna stand up here. I'm gonna try and get up. I'm gonna make a run at this, actually. Ooh, baby, that's bad. So I didn't quite expect it to be quite this bad. That's a lot of tape. We got to get these bags off the ground. That's like half the bag. Oh, I can see that one torn over there. Okay, well, I better get at it here. So I've been running around here trying to do stuff, but where I stepped here, it's wet. So I first have to clean it, get it dry, so I can tape this big hole. Pretty good size. I guess last time they didn't like my tape and they just chewed right through it anyway. There we go. Got this one taped up really good. And that's what we got to do, you guys. I taped up that one, and I got to do that one over there yet. And I'm gonna be here. We're not gonna get to any more bags, that's for sure. But I'm gonna get cracking. We're losing daylight here. Hey, got that so you guys can kind of watch a little bit about what I'm doing. I'm just trying to be speedy here. always have a terrible time trying to find where I left off on the tape. Note to self, don't let it stick to itself again. Get in there. Get in there. Stop coming out. Shoot. I'll let it stick to itself. Kind of a challenge here to get rid of some of this stuff. Oh, well, that wasn't a very good piece to put on, but chances are the coons, they're going to be back probably tonight. And they're probably going to just cut it right back open again. Okay. You probably ask yourself, Mike, why do you still have these bags out here, for goodness sakes? Well, it's because the bins are full and we're working as hard as we can to get the bins empty. There's no room for them yet. Okay. There we go. I gotta run it, this. I gotta run it. Put a knife in my hand. All right, we got some more done. Oh, almost put a hole in the bag. That would have been a sucky deal. Okay. This one is not going to be fun, but I'm going to get on here. And we're about to see what we can do. I don't want to bore you guys while I tape this, so I'm just going to start taping, okay? Okay. So when you're taping a big hole like this and you actually have nothing that you can tape on, you want to keep using your last tape. So you always got to tape it to this, stretch it out, put 50% of your tape on the last one, like that. Kind of hard to do with one hand, but it goes 50%. See if I can do this with one hand. Because basically, we have to build our own. So then the next one, I'll start here. Well, I'll start back here, cover up this. And then I'll go right over 50% to this one. 50%, 50%. That way we can actually cover this whole hole up. Okay? That's what we got to do. All right, so we're finished. So that's what it looks like. We just basically made our own bag again. And I just kept going 50% until I covered the hole. And then I just ran 2 up here just for make me feel a little bit better, just to kind of give it a little bit extra strength. Oh, looks like I gotta do this little guy right here. There we go. So, I'm going to just kind of continue down and keep patching up all these holes. See a little one right there. The tape came off of that one right there. Oh, we got a mountain of a mess on these ones. I'm gonna go get my rag so I can clean this up really good. You don't want to have dirt, because that tape, it just won't stick to that dirt. So I'm gonna get going on this. I'm trying to work as fast as I can here. Whew. Woo. So again, what we're doing is we're taking our rag, we're just trying to clean it off a little bit here, just so we get a good area to stick our tape to. Nice little turd right there. Got that one taped up. That one, yeah. Okay, so now we're gonna start on this big hole. I've cleaned it up pretty much to the best of my abilities, so that way our tape, because if we don't dry it, our tape won't stick. So we're just gonna try and patch it together a little bit here. So I know you guys got a bunch of questions. I kind of figured you would. Mike, these grain bags seem to be the biggest pain in the butt I have ever seen in my entire life. Why don't you just build more bins so that way you don't have to use them? That is actually a really good question. Well, the reason why is because grain bags are really cheap when it comes to buying. It's like 10 cents a bushel, give or take, something like that, for storage. Where a big grain bin, you're gonna be a few dollars a bushel. That's a pretty big difference. Really big difference. Okay, you can use grain bags for a very, very long time for a heck of a lot cheaper. Well, Mike, obviously that's not accurate, because look at how much waste you have. Just in the waste in itself, surely you can pay for the grain or the bins. Actually, that's not true. We actually don't have that much waste. This bag is excessive. Yeah, this bag is excessive. I'll give you that. But normally they're not this bad. You know what I mean? So, also, you got to remember that chickpeas keep better in a bag. If you don't believe that, scroll back to like spring seeding 2020, and we're in a hopper bin with buckets. We are skimming the top of the bin with moldy, rotten chickpeas. They don't keep good in bins. They keep way better in bags. So you're gonna have waste one way or another. You're gonna have some waste with some bad chickpea bags, like this one. Or you're gonna have some waste with bins, okay? Well, Mike, surely you can get some aeration in those bins, and you can keep them from... That is with aeration, all right? I have skinned more bins than I can remember. Also, you need to keep in mind that bags make grain go away very quickly. Mike, what do you mean it makes go away very quickly? Well, when all the grain cart has to do is come and dump it at full speed into the bag, it really helps with logistics. Mike, I don't understand what you're talking about, logistics. What do you mean? Well, we only have so many semis, okay? We only have so many drivers. So when you're 70 miles away from the farm or 30 miles away from the farm, that is a freaking long haul. That takes the guys a very long time to do a full turnaround, to get all the way back to the main yard, dump it into a bin, and drive all the way back, because we don't like to drive too fast on the grid roads. We actually drive about 70 kilometers, I do believe. 60 in some places, because the rocks beat the crap out of the trailers and the semi-truck. So guess what? While you have all your trucks trying to get the grain to your bins, you have all your combines just sitting around here twiddling thumbs. Well, Mike, why don't you just build some bins down here? First of all, these are not all-weather roads, so we have to plow our way down to get to these bags, and we'll plow our way down if we had bins. Second of all, we want all the grain in the yard in case any grain was to go missing. You can keep an eye on it. Second, or third, I guess I should probably say, is there's no power. So you're going to build some bins way out in the middle of the yuck tuck out here. Where are you going to run your aeration fan? Where are you going to run your auger to actually get them out of your bin? Well, Mike, obviously, just get a generator, man. That's what I do on my farm, and that's awesome. If that works, good for you. But the logistics for us packing around a generator all over the place so we can auger out of our bin is just not, that's just not something that we can do. second, or fourth, or fifth, or sixth, I don't even know where I am anymore, is, also, what I meant to say, sorry, if you're renting ground, you're not going to go build bins on ground that you're renting. You don't know how long you're going to have it. You might only have it 1, 2, 3, 4, who knows how long, whatever your contract is, and you might not farm it again. That's another reason why grain bags are handy. So grain bags are handy because they make grain disappear quickly. It frees up logistics at harvest time. You need less guys, and then with your same crew that you use for harvest, you have enough manpower to go around and collect all your bags. And you typically always want to get your bags before spring thaw. If you don't get your bags before spring thaw, well, go back again to spring of 2020 and you're going to see us playing in the soup, aka mud and snow and a disaster. And it was not a fun time. So, another thing is when grain bags work well, and for the most part they do. We always have a little bit of spoilage right at the beginning, but 8 times out of 10 the bag works awesome. This bag, on the other hand, this might be a little bit of a challenge. Probably gonna have some spoiled stuff. Like this is fine, but if any moisture got in there, the moisture has nowhere to go. Fortunately, we're on a fairly aggressive hill because we thought this might happen, and the water is gonna work itself out of the bag. At least that's what you hope. I'm running out of tape. Oh, I just ran out of tape. Just ran out of tape right now. So, I'm gonna come over there and I'll show you what I've done so far. Oops, sorry about that. That's what I've taped so far. We got the big one here yet to go. So I'm gonna go grab some more tape. So basically what I'm telling you is we're never gonna get rid of bags, most likely. Though, no one really loves bags. But, shoot. Hopefully we can continue to keep building more bins. Rome wasn't built in a day. We try and build a few bins all the time. But then we always keep picking up a little bit more ground sometimes. So maybe it just kind of keeps balancing itself out. Problem is with these bags, once the deer, raccoons, badgers, skunks, antelope, once they all know that this stuff is here, it's basically like a self-feeder. It's pretty hard to keep those animals out of the bag. Heck, we even have moose down here. And when a moose wants in a grain bag, there's nothing going to stop it. Most of the time when you bag, your goal is to sell your bags first. That way, you can sit on the stuff in your bin. But it doesn't always work that way, and the reason why is, say this is a number 1, okay? And the terminal's like, well, we're loading number 2 trains. Well, actually, they don't typically buy chickpeas. I'm just using this as an example, okay? They're like, hey guys, we're actually looking for number 3 durum, and maybe our 1 is in bags currently, and that just happened to be how the field was, and that's out of your control. And guess what? You can't empty your bags. You're like, come on, can we please get some 1 moved so we can get our bags empty? That's typically always the conversation with the terminals. Can we please move this stuff so we can get our bags empty? But you know what? It pretty much comes down to the trains. Even the terminal's like, okay, we're planning on moving to number 1 in January. there could be a train issue or a backup or something, and they're like, actually, they sent us a number 3 train, so you're gonna have to sit on your 1 until another couple weeks or maybe even a month. So that's kind of what we go through. It's not that we don't want to get this bags off the field. It's actually our number 1 priority, but it just doesn't always work that way. Now I lost my knife. What did I do with my knife? Oh, here it is. Blend it in. And the problem is with chickpeas, since chickpeas keep better in a bag in our experience, chickpeas really aren't worth anything right now. So guess what? They're really not looking at buying them. Oh, you could probably sell them, but you're just going to give them away. So now you as a farmer, you're really in a tough position because you really want to get these things sold. You don't really want to take these chickpeas, load them up, crack them again by putting them on a truck, crack them again by putting them in a bin, crack them again by taking them out of a bin, putting them in a truck to sell them again. You're just going to move them more times. Your ultimate plan is to get these things moved the first time and sell them. You don't want to put them back in a bin because you're just going to keep cracking them all to crap. But unfortunately, if nobody's going to buy them and if you can't get rid of them, guess what? Well, eventually you got to get the bags off the field before spring, or you're going to have a mess. So as a farmer, you're quite torn. You're like, I want to get rid of them. I don't want to give them away. I don't want to move them twice. But at the same time, spring is coming and we got to get the bags off the ground. So those are our challenges as producers. And that's not just us, you guys. That's every farmer. Every farmer has their own challenges. Holy cow, how am I going to do this? Ah! Wow. I don't think I've patched this big of a hole in a very long time. So again, you want to make your own by keep going 50% all the time. If I was going to know it was going to be this bad, I would have brought somebody else to give us a hand. Oh! Shoot. So now I'm just going to have to actually get in here, I guess. Try not to spill any more out than I have to. And then keep going 50%. And then keep going so on, so like forth. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna do this so that way you guys aren't just looking there like, holy cow, it's taking this guy so long. I'll show you when I get done. Whew. Well, now that we finished the gigantic hole, that's one of the biggest ones I've ever patched, you guys. That is massive. So anyway, obviously there had to be some MMA fight on here between a raccoon and a badger. I'm not sure which one won, but I hope that they don't come back for round 2. Well, let's carry on here. Don't worry, I won't punch a hole through the bag. They're actually pretty tough until it comes to claws. I'm gonna start fixing this one. Woo! Alright guys, I made it to the last hole here. Thank goodness, I made it to the end of the bag. I've patched all the holes along each side of this one bag. 3 more to go. It's starting to cool off out here right now. Oh! Let's see what these ones look like. I'm running out of tape. I didn't think that it was going to be this bad down here. So unfortunately, bags are just going to be a part of our operation just due to, whoa, it's slippery here, logistics. Oh. This one isn't too bad. This one's got some holes on it. Right up here I can see. Oof. Cut kind of wide right there. Some raccoon turds. Oh boy, I see chickpeas down on this one. Some more holes. Raccoons, they're known to dig a hole in your bag and poop in it. These ones are courteous. They poop on the side. Never had such courteous raccoons. And right here. Okay, well, throw my tape up here. So I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna get cracking on this. And I'm gonna try and I won't get all this stuff done because I still gotta go down these bags. Because I just simply don't have enough tape. So thanks for following me around. This is bag checking. I guess on these particular bags, we're going to come back a little bit more often. We haven't even made it to all the bags yet, you guys. We got lots of bags out. We haven't even made it to them all. So hopefully it doesn't get any worse. And hopefully we can get these bags off the ground. Since they're chickpeas, unfortunately, due to the current markets, I don't think we're going to be able to sell them. Probably just going to have to store them in a bin, get them off the ground. It's really unfortunate. We really didn't want to have to move them twice, crack them. But it is what it is, so. Alright guys, adios. Do you guys hear that? Shh. Coyotes. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but there's a lot of coyotes out there just howling, go, woo! So, to you too! Stay away from my grain bags!